Thank you. I saw Chantel's message on the screen in caps. Mic is muted. Look down, my slider for my microphone is right at the bottom. When you live stream, make sure you got your mic turned on. I hope everyone's had a great week. All those great things that I said at the start about everybody here. You missed out on that. No, I asked, how was your week? I hope you had a good week. And all that and more. Let's jump in and see who's here so I can regroup for a few seconds. I know a few people were in the chat before we went live. So people such as Chantel Hills, live on YouTube 1, even Kevin Hawthorne coming at us from Lakeland, Florida. And just so you know where we are, let's create a breakfast live. Push up the background music. Don't want it that loud. Pull it back a bit. There we go. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, also, before we went live, Neil Faramond is here as well. Welcome. Live on YouTube 2 is here. 1 and 2, both are here. Aaron's House of Legos is here, saying, what's up, party people? I think I know the reference. Frank over 50 is in the house. Let's see. The Creator Classroom is here as well. And Monique is here. Had to refill my frappe. Yeah, whatever beverage you got to bring with you. I always bring the water. Let's see. Eileen Smith is here as well. Welcome. And that's it. More people are probably going to roll in very soon. So I hope everyone had a great week. YouTube did a thing. Well, the YouTube CEO did a thing. Put out this whole thing because if you didn't realize that yesterday was Valentine's Day, February 14, 20 years ago. On that day, YouTube was launched as a platform, but did you know that YouTube was actually a dating app or a dating application? So you could like record like a video of yourself putting your best foot forward to a possible date, and it didn't really go well for them. And that's why it was called YouTube. It was like you putting yourself out there for a possible partner of the future. That didn't really work out. Then they pivoted to online video because they're already doing that video aspect as a dating app, and the rest is history. And so, we're celebrating 20 years of YouTube being a thing, maybe not in its final form, but it was prototype YouTube. And also, Neal shared a couple of things which we're going to talk about shortly on the show. We're also going to be looking at what is going on this week with Creator Insider and any other little nuggets of information that popped up in the socials this week, all regarding YouTube and what creators need to know. And if at any point in the stream you have a question for me, you can drop it in the chat with a Q in front, so I know it's a Q question for me, because there's always a lot of conversation in the chat along the way, and sometimes I get lost in that as well. But if it's a question, I like to jump on those specifically along the way, and let the conversations keep conversating in the chat. So let us jump back in. We've got Home Rapid Repair. Larry is here, coming at us as well. And we've also got Elisa the Grey. Good evening from Thailand. We get a lot of people from Thailand tuning in. That's pretty good. I tried to. You're on one of your other channels. YouTube's not having it today. Got some technical issues on the YouTube side, I believe. Anyone else having chat disappears when you go back and forth from top to live chat today? Yeah, it's a good question. I haven't seen that. Elsa the Grey is actually AYD. I can see her. Amazing Yacht Destinations. Coming in on an alt account, as they say. So yeah, if you've got questions anytime throughout the show, you can do that as a queue. If you're actually dropping in, a comment as well. That's optional, the queue, if it's not a specifically a question, but if you want me to see it, maybe that helps as well. Just so I know that comment is directed at me. Maybe we have Q's for questions and capital C's for comments. I don't know. We'll just stick with the Q's for now. Oh, all good. So yeah, so it's an interesting week. So we're going to dive into some of that information shortly so that we can get through it. And a little something I've updated today is sometimes we might go to questions and I might like minimize myself and then highlight something in the chat like that so that we get like a bit of a feature down there. And as a bonus, you can see right there. Opposites. Bit of a summary of what might be coming up this weekend. And I might stick that there as a bit of a test, a bit of a subtle advertisement along the way, but we will still talk about it sometime during the show and let you know the specifics of what's going on. Show you what the thumbnails look like if you're looking for them on YouTube and all that as well. So you know, something new for today. We can highlight that. Highlight the chats as we go along the way, just as we're about to highlight. Brian Webber's here. Good morning from NC. Good morning. Welcome. And also a big welcome to Livestream Consultants, who's here as well. We've given plenty of space for the larger chats as well, because some of them come in, they'll have a little bit more to say. I'm looking for a longer one, like Creator Classroom has one that's a little bit longer. Sometimes they're even longer. They'll actually fill up that space in the gap there along the way. But we can still actually have them just, you know, over the regular. Oh, I don't know what happened there. What's that black thing there? Where'd that black thing come from? I don't know what that is. I don't know why that's there or what that's for. That's weird. I don't know how they got there. Anyway, that's all good. I hit the X and it disappeared. Ecamm, thank you. So yeah, let's jump in. I do see a queue already, so we're going to jump on that before we hit some of today's topics. Home rapid repair. What is your TV views percentage versus mobile percentage? Hey, that's a pretty good question. I did look it up the other day when it was being discussed somewhere. I think were we talking about that last week? I really don't know where we were talking about that. It's going to take me a second just to go and check that. So while I'm doing that, Creator Classroom says I didn't want to see my profile picture. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I thought the as I changed scenes, the Creator Breakfast Live logo got corrupted or something, like the file or something, but it doesn't appear to be the case because it came back okay. I need to jump in a studio to find that information out. Now, as I think we did talk about that last week, where it was in analytics, and I believe it was under audience? I think it was under audience. Device type, yes. A device type card. My percentage of TV, my TV is only 4.6%, so it's quite low. And my mobile is the top one, 46.8%, which is followed closely by computer at 43.3%. And then my tablets are actually higher than TV. So TV's my actually lowest at the moment. And I guess that depends on the type of content. Obviously, I think I'm getting a lot of shorts views from search and being sort of surfaced as searchable content because I answer a lot of sort of Q&A type things on my shorts sometimes. So in the last 28 days, that would count for why mobile's very high and why maybe stuff like TV is lower. I've been putting out a lot of long form content apart from my streams. And, you know, some people do watch streams on their TVs. I know there's probably somebody out there right now doing that. But it's not always the case. Most people on computers or whatnot. Like I watch quite a lot of streams on my tablet, on my iPad, and computer and even on my big screen. I've got a big screen just over here. Sometimes I watch it on there as well. So, you know, that's all good. That's all good. I think my scene now, I'm just looking at my scene now, though, that particular scene, there shouldn't be a gap over on the left there. I usually have it cropped in a little bit more, so I don't know what's happened there. Something's changed in Ecamm, maybe in the update that came through in the last week. So that's all good. I'm just gonna go, yeah. It's usually a little bit tighter like that one. Brian has 30% views on TV. Yeah, a lot of channels have it like quite high. So it's interesting. It is interesting. I don't. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. It might have been a camera, a rectangle small camera surfacing. What I can do is just click on cameras and see what is also active. Maybe I like accidentally clicked on something that brought up like camera A, camera B, which are like placeholders. Anyway, that's talking shop, talking eCam. Neal's got the lowdown on that. The black squares, small PP that eCam added based on a shortcut you may have pressed. Ooh, yeah. I could have just hit something odd along the way. It's very possible. Very possible. Like I am changing scenes on Stream Deck, but I am also clicking. And if I bump my keyboard, maybe I'm hitting a hotkey or something. Very possible. You never know. No worries. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. I know who it is, which is the important thing. Credit Classroom just got a new word into my. You just added a new word. I thought you typed in a word and it blocked you. I gotta love those that think that can be offensive sneakily. Yeah, you got to start on top. I actually updated. I actually realized there was some. I didn't have a lot in mine, and I added a few more recently, and so I had to like do it across all the channels I create content for because I realized that some of them weren't set up with block words lists. I'm like, why didn't I pick up on that before? So if you have multiple channels, make sure if you update your block words list on one channel, make sure you update it on the other channels as well. And good morning and/or good evening to Beanie Drawers. Instead of having a nap and waking up at 6 a.m. like I did last week, I'm just staying up. Yeah, you're a lot like an hour ahead of us here in Queensland. So it's nearly it's 11:45 where you are, and it's 11:45 where we are. So yeah, gonna be a long evening for those of us who are sticking with some of these streams that are coming up. Let's see. Shark Scrapper's in the house. Welcome. Let's see. Thanks. I was surprised my TV was near as high as mobile. Yeah, I can understand why some of your content might be up there as well. I imagine mobile's up there definitely for you. But yeah, because people sometimes, if they're looking for an answer to their home repair questions and stuff, that they're going to have their phone handy. So that the mobile would be expected to be on TV. That's interesting. Maybe this like for the big screen so they can like look at the detail, like what the demonstration is. Maybe that's why. That's interesting. All right, just making sure I haven't missed up any other things here. Don't underestimate the power of the big screen. Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things we might be mentioning in some of this information we're going to look at. So, yes. So let's jump in and start hitting some of the news and whatnot that's coming up. And as always, every week, we like to start with what did Creator Insider touch on in their main video this week, their news flash, where they tell us about experiments, new features rolling out, launches, experiments. I think I said experiments already. Let's go check it out. All right. We'll say goodbye to Beanie as well. And we'll say goodbye to the Creator Breakfast Live logo, AK. Creator Insider Newsflash. There's only two things that they mentioned. There's another very short one this week. They haven't had any very long ones so far, 2025. Here we are mid-February. And we've just got some small incremental announcements. I'm going to touch on these in a little more detail, but in summary, they talked about Shorts text-to-speech is now available on iOS and Android. I believe they were testing it on Android and now have rolled it out to iOS, so now it's on both. That's where you can type the captions and have it read the captions out, so you get that AI type voice, the one that's clearly means that's reading captions. So it's like we're copying a TikTok feature, but doing it YouTube style. The other one is updated profile cards on Studio Mobile, and I'll show you what that is in just a second. But first we'll talk about the Shorts text-to-speech update. Now this initially launched on Android like last year sometime, where they were doing it as an experiment on Android, testing it out, making sure it was solid. Now they've just added it to iOS as well. So here we go. This is a short that's playing. This is a short that they put out back when they put it on Android. But all this now applies to iOS as well. So whether you're on either phone, if you've got the apps up to date, you should be able to go in if you're creating a short and like to add the built-in captions, where you can just type whatever you want, and it will actually, if you go and trigger it, it will actually read it out as part of the audio on the short. I don't have an example that you can hear. I'm just playing the visual, which sort of defeats the purpose of a demonstration. But right there where it says, don't forget to subscribe to YouTube's creator channel for more tips updates, because that's the text that they added as part of the short. The text-to-speech AI read that part out as well. And you can pick, they've got 4 different voices you can pick. I think there's 2 female, 2 male voices. And so you can go with those and pick whichever one you takes your fancy, really. Just jumping off that as a jumping point, if you look at, I need to go to the right tab over here. If you look at there's a poll which is about creating shorts on mobile. I'm just gonna click on it so I can expand it, and it says, do you create shorts using the YouTube mobile app? Simple yes, no. I had no idea. Tell me more. I added that last one just because maybe you didn't even know there were tools in the YouTube app to create shorts from scratch, whether you're sampling somebody else's short or long form video, or whether you're just recording it on your phone camera, or doing a bit of both. Lots of different things that you can do to snazz up your shorts, not just record stuff with the camera. You can do time lapses and slow motion, and add stickers and text, and you can record voiceovers. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, if we want, maybe I'm thinking of doing an update because they've added quite a lot of more tools in the shorts creation tool. So we might be doing an update on that. I might start making sure I get those mobile type things onto my mobile channel. So that's probably where it will show up at some point when I decide to do an updated walkthrough of all the tools available in the shorts in the shorts application on the app. Let me have a look. Make sure that if there's any comments about any of this, we can address them before we move on. Okay. Okay, I'm just following the chat for things. Okay, now we've got the YouTube Forge, which is Amazing Yacht Destinations, of course. What else we got? Beanie says, all these updates make me feel old, but they're good to have. Yeah. Just think back to 2019 when we went to Vid Summit. Like, shorts didn't exist. Think about that. Shorts did not exist. Creative Classroom says, I dislike AI voices. Yeah, particularly the ones on like the ones on TikTok have a bit of like, the AI, but they have a bit of personality to them. I don't think the YouTube ones are quite as good. But then you can get AI voices where if you could set up your own clone using something like 11 Labs, if anybody watched Brian G. Johnson's video on it, it can sound like exactly like you, which means, it's not roboto. It's not obviously fake, even though, it'll sound like you, but obviously you're using that to like either do a voiceover where you don't have to speak it yourself. For whatever reason, maybe if you had one, an AI voice clone set up with, say, 11 Labs, for the purpose of, if you lose your voice, you can still narrate your videos whilst you're sick. You can just type in the text and it will narrate them, and you can tweak it and it will sound realistic. It'll have inclinations and exaggerations and variations so that it doesn't sound monotone. So it'll sound more like you as a person. So there's places where the AI voices, they're off-putting and they can suck, and there's ones that you can do some really good things that can actually be an assistance to you as a creator. Beanie has a question. Do you think the theory that creating shorts directly in the YouTube app rather than uploading it makes it more likely to be promoted? I have heard people say that more than once, not often, but yeah, I don't have any proof on that. Like, I've done it both ways, where I've like filmed and edited in Final Cut like I do my normal videos and uploaded on desktop or exported, sent it to my phone and uploaded. I even do both at the same time, where I'll edit, send it to my phone, upload it using the shorts tool instead of, I could just use the upload feature. It would still recognize it as a short. But what I do is I upload it and I might add a little bit to it. If it's not the full, back when it was a minute, I might do like 40 seconds and I have space to add like a little thing at the end that I might already have in my camera roll or something like that. Or I could add like an extra bit of text that I might have forgotten to put in or something. But I've done it like all sorts of ways. I've not dived in enough at the results to see if there's any credence to that theory. So yeah, jury's out for me on that one. Eileen says, I wish YouTube would let us download without the watermark the way TikTok does. Yes. I haven't tried it myself, but I did see a video today on, I don't know if it was on Creator Insider or it was YouTube Liaison's channel. It was one of the two, but it had this actual video that I've got here on the screen right now. It was playing, but it had the YouTube watermark. So they've obviously downloaded it from their own channel. And then, oh yeah, because this is on the YouTube creators channel, this particular short. Like, I just screen recorded this just to have it as an animation that plays when I was talking about the subject. So you can sort of do that. Like, and I didn't bother capturing the audio. I just wanted the visuals. But I could have captured the audio as well, doing it that way. Clearly I've got the little player thing on the bottom there. You can see the red line for the player and the channel and the title of the shorts on the bottom there as well. So yeah, I haven't actually tried downloading a short directly, but I know what the watermark looks like. It is quite large and obvious, and I think it sort of sits. I could point, but you won't see where I'm pointing. But yeah, it sort of sits down the bottom slightly to the left, just sort of floating in the middle, so it's very hard to crop out. Yeah, absolutely. It sounds cool. Jerry's in the house. Good morning, Jerry. Welcome to the stream. All right. Shorts were an answer to the first threat of TikTok getting banned in 2020. That's right. It did get banned in India, and so they rolled it out. YouTube rolled shorts out in India first, just to fill the gap, because everybody was using TikTok. Indian government banned it outright, and so YouTube said, hold my beer, I'm jumping in with here's a vertical short tool. Didn't have a lot of features at the time, but here, if you want to upload your vertical content, here's a place to do it. And that carried a lot of favor with vertical short form creators in India. So that's the thing. To this day, they still can't post on TikTok. Intonation of the inclination? I have no idea what I was talking about. I remember saying something like that. All right. Hold my beer. That's right. Okay, we're going to roll to the other one, Studio Mobile Profile Cards. And I've used Home Rapid Repair as an example on this one. This is in the Studio app on your mobile device. When you're, say, in your comments and you tap on their profile picture, this is a card that comes up that gives you information about that channel. So if you're answering a comment and you're going, what are they on about? I'm going to go check out their channel because, something's piqued your interest. And so you can go and have a look. It'll give you like their basic information. It says that on this channel, I've had 52 comments from Larry, and I've hearted 48 of them, apparently. There was a few I missed, clearly. Also mentions that you're a top commenter and that you're a channel member. So it gives me information like that. And then below there, I can go down and look at recent comments on channel. So they've just updated the layout of this card. So I think this is a new layout, because this looked like the one that was in the Creator Insider channel. So yeah, I wondered where they were at first, because when I first saw them, I'm like, what are these cards and how do I see them? And so I went and realized it was in the Studio app, and realized that if I go into the comments and tap on the profile picture of any of the commenters, that the card will come up. So the use case is just to see if you're reading a comment, maybe the comments, it's got your attention. So you click on it and you go, yeah, this is what this is such and such a channel. Oh, they're making content. They've got Larry's got 15.8 subscribers. I know, okay, that's good. I know that he's a creator like me. So it's not just like somebody who's interested in my topic that isn't a creator. I can gauge information from that. And there's obviously a link to go to the channel directly. Then I can click on that. It'll probably open that. I believe it opens that up in the proper YouTube app. It'll just like pop up the YouTube and open up the channel. You go to their channel page. So that's what the profile card's about. Doug hated 4 comments. So does that mean if I don't drop a heart, it means I hate the comments? Is that what that means? Oh, Chantel's coming in with some tough love. They didn't deserve hearts. Okay. Oh, maybe those comments were not worth the heart. Oh, dear. Do you know mods see those cards? That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't think if one of the mods happens to be modding, open up their mobile phone and jump on and see if that's a thing. I don't think so, because I think it's in the mobile app. It's in the Studio app, not in the main YouTube app. So if you're modding on the YouTube app, where you'd be watching the stream and seeing the live comments come in, I don't think that does. But you do have the go to channel functionality on desktop if you're a mod, as one of the 3-dot options next to comments. I think that's available on mobile as well, from the top of my head. Better basketball training. All Swish is in the house. Welcome. I don't do a great deal of shorts. Great poll. Thanks for asking. Yeah, because some people are really into them. They'll be doing shorts regularly, even if it's as a part of a combination of long form and podcasts and live streams and whatnot. And some people might be really focused on shorts, and then some people maybe just don't do shorts at all. I like to do a bit of everything. Just about. All right. Look out, Chantel's jumping in. I don't believe you can pull it up on the regular YouTube app. That's my belief. I can see channel activity on the desktop that Larry has 0 actions taken against him in the last year. Well, that's good to know, isn't it? Larry's a pretty safe guy. There we go. All right. We're gonna move on. Well, Chantel might be investigating a little more. I don't know, but we're gonna move on to the next part, which is probably the main topic for today. Neal Mohan this week came out with what YouTube are terming a bit of a marketing gimmick, but called it our big bets for 2025. This is basically just like a prognosticating, not a lot of specific things, but just sort of a broad overall things to be looking out for under 4 main banners, which we're going to hit right now. And I'm going to jump straight into it. Number 1, YouTube will remain the epicenter of culture. And what they mean by that is that YouTube is actually, which might be one of the reasons why Larry was asking about, how high up percentage is your TV viewing, because one of the statistics that came out was that TV is now the primary device for YouTube viewing in the United States. So a lot more people. And the other one is that YouTube is the #1 streaming platform in the US. People are watching YouTube more than Netflix and Disney Plus and Paramount Plus and any of the other ones, Max, and I'm trying to remember what all the US ones are. We have a couple of them, but we don't have all of them. But any of the content streaming platforms, YouTube is #1. So people are watching YouTube on TV by the droves. And some other things to keep in mind when they're talking about being an epicenter of culture is that YouTube turns up around national and worldwide events. But here's some that they sort of gravitate towards, maybe US-based ones. Like very much there's a lot of conversation going on about the recent US election. People talking, Saturday Night Live skits are getting posted, and people posting and commenting on those on YouTube in quite a big detail. A lot of commentary and everything around the Olympics. Coachella is a popular event that YouTube covers and actually broadcasts. They had a whole Super Bowl thing last week with Kyson and iShowSpeed and some I think it was tag football, if I recall. They got content around the Cricket World Cup, which is more catering to the Indian and Australian and English and South Africa and New Zealand, those countries that play international cricket. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India. I think there's a few others, broader ones that play in a large competition like that. But there's an involvement of YouTube in that as well. A lot of different things. And one of the other things is that a lot of people around the world are listening to podcasts. And so you see here, there's a quote here that YouTube is the most frequently used service for listening to podcasts in the US. So people are now going to YouTube for podcasts over places like Spotify in greater numbers. Now, Spotify are coming at them because Spotify are launching a partner program. They've launched obviously video podcasts, which YouTube obviously has an advantage in video podcasts as well. So there's all these things going on where YouTube is very much front and center of culture, because it's a platform that everybody knows of, everybody's heard of, and many people go to for information, entertainment, and all that. So it's stuff that we sort of already knew in the most part, that YouTube is a cultural phenomenon at this stage. Like you could consider Netflix, for example. If you talk about any streaming service around the world, if you mention Netflix, people know what Netflix is. It's like a household name. It's a household name. Let's go to the next one real quick, and then I'm going to jump into the comments. Now, this is an interesting one. It says YouTubers are becoming startups of Hollywood. And what this means is that back when YouTube started 20 years ago, or in the last 20 years, a lot of creators started off being bedroom creators or creating in their house. Sort of like what I'm doing now. Like, this is not, I am not in a professional studio. I'm just in a room in my house. I've got some equipment and I'm broadcasting live. But what we're seeing more and more with larger creators who are not only growing their size and their viewership, but they're also growing their staff and their business. They're at that point where they're creating professional facilities to make their content. They're renting studio space, buying studio grade equipment, hiring editors and videographers and graphic designers and script writers and storyboarders. There could be many, many different tasks. So they're becoming like mini Hollywood studios. And so we're seeing that as a trend more and more on YouTube. There's still certainly people like us who are in the home sort of studio environment, but there's more and more people who are growing their channel and growing their business, maybe several channels, other platforms, and even extending to other business types that are beyond just content creation. And they're creating startups and facilities that rival some things that Hollywood would be doing already. So that's an interesting one. And the quote here, with those growing businesses, because they're becoming businesses, is that last year YouTube saw a more than 40% increase in channel memberships, because that's like a part of the a revenue option for these for any of us channels, like even down to channels who have at least 1,000 subscribers, and fan funding can participate in channel memberships and grow their membership base, provide extra content, and that becomes a revenue stream for them. And so whether you're small like us, like us, or they're bigger studio types, they could be doing some form of the channel memberships, and that could be driving a fair chunk of their revenue. I know a bunch of aviation streamers where memberships and super chats, because it's all based around live content, is big money for them. It actually sustains their business if they happen to be doing it full time. I know people who do that, have memberships and stuff, but they still do it as a hobby. But they're raking in like gifted memberships off the chain. People are dropping gifted memberships just to support because they like the content that they make, and they just want to come in and support. The same with super chats and all the other monetization avenues on YouTube. So there's like growth from, that YouTube is from the creator who's just starting out on the mobile phone, doesn't have lighting, doesn't have a studio, to small home studios, to large home, maybe somebody turns their garage into a dedicated studio space, which makes it a little bit more professional, or whether they're out hiring, renting a premises, leasing a premises, hiring a staff, having a production team, and making content that is TV Hollywood level content and putting it on YouTube and other platforms. So YouTube is deep in that. All right, I'm going to hold off before I go to 3 and 4, because I need to get caught up on the chat. Let's see. I'm just going to try and look out for questions. So if I skip you, it's probably because I didn't see Q. Okay, we're still talking about there. So just remember that YouTube is unmatched for long-form video. No other platform in the world is even close. Pretty much. Honestly, it says, I do not have Netflix, Hulu, or Disney, but I do have Amazon Prime. Yeah, the Amazon Prime, I'm like, I have it by default because I'm paying for Prime and getting all the perks. You know what I mean? So I watch YouTube and Prime on my TV during the day. Yeah, definitely. Cobra Kai started as a YouTube Red series, exactly. And then I believe once it was done there, a YouTube Red or YouTube Premium series, because I think Red became Premium. And then it went over to Netflix, bought it and took it over and did many more seasons. So something that YouTube put out as a TV professional TV product as part of their Red series. So it was like commissioned, like Netflix commissions shows all the time. There's commissioned exactly the same way, but on YouTube. Beanie's getting old. We're all getting old. 20 years. Oh my goodness. Netflix recently announced that they're considering adding podcasts to the streaming service. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Podcasts are hot. Home Rapid Repair asks a question. If YouTube allows members only on communities, as a creator can run a full business with channel memberships and keep everyone on site. Thoughts? Yeah, depending on the implementation, yeah. And I can tell you that you will see, I'm pretty confident that you will see an option to make it for members only instead of subscribers of a certain age or just free for all. All the different options. Like I haven't seen the option, the complete list of options, because I don't have it yet. They have, obviously it's still in beta, only some people have it. But I think when it's fully formed, there will be an option to make it members only. I think it's a bit clunky at the moment. I think there's some improvements in the layout and the way things work. I'm seeing like back end of Studio when you can look at, there's an option if you're on, even though it's a mobile only feature, you can look in the back. If you have it activated, you can look in the back end of in your community on YouTube Studio. There's now a tab for viewing for your posts, so you can like check for ones that have been maybe held for review that don't appear publicly. You can review them. Right now, it's not displaying any of the images on any of the ones where there's images posted, which are quite a lot that I've seen. They're not displaying the images on desktop. So it was hard to moderate them based on the images, although you could read the text if there was a decent amount of text put in there. So from a moderation point of view, the desktop isn't really working 100% at the moment. You can take the actions, but you just can't see the images. So if they post like a carousel of images, you can't go through them and look at them and make sure that that's appropriate or whatever. But at least they're being held by your block words list. The same moderation tools that we have for comments also applies to people who post in your community. All right, let me keep going here in the chat. I got to tell you, it's quite muggy and warm and sticky here tonight. I switched from Ozswoosh channel to this one. Modern Media Makers, aka Ozswoosh. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up on that. Come on, somebody else is here. But welcome again anyway. Let's see. Scrolling, see if there's any questions. And I'll say hello to TGM Forum. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, that's a fancy. I like. Ooh, there's lawnmower. I can tell the lawnmower, and yes, that's a pretty cool logo. It's big enough for me to see it at a decent thing. Like that on YouTube, that's probably quite small. That's nice. Yeah, tractor tree. Some tools. Love it. Sharscraper has a 3-person production team, me, myself, and I. Not a great team. Consistently arguing with each other. Love it. All right, I'm just scrolling. So, yes, Renee did insinuate or suggests that you're not seeing the community's hub in its full form. So, yes. Scully's in the house. Welcome, welcome. All right. And that's a membership milestone message, which deserves one of these.
Thank you for your membership milestone message.
I find Chris has been a member for 14 months. Congratulations on 14 months membership. Yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday to you. Is it your actual birthday, or is it just like, hey, 14 months, happy birthday, happy monthly birthday? Let me know. Let me know if it is your actual birthday. That's cool. That is cool. All right. Clicking away. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 3, YouTube is the new television. Which is sort of goes back to what we said at the top. YouTube is the new television. People are watching YouTube like television. You know, and that's putting aside that, like in the US, you have something called YouTube TV where you can watch the, you know, all the regular channels within like a YouTube container. I really don't know what that looks like. We don't have that thing here in Australia. That's a US only thing. Or maybe it's in Canada. I don't know. But even that aside, YouTube is becoming one of the most popular places for people to consume content, and that's on TV. Some of the stats they give us here is, on average, over 1 billion hours of YouTube content is shown on TVs daily as like the device that people are watching on. So that's interesting. Also, creators are more and more creating with the big screen in mind. So making sure that they're shooting it like in high quality video. Not that you have to or be obligated to, but at least have in the back of your mind that people are watching this content on televisions. So whether they're watching on their little, 1080p TV in their bedroom, or they're watching on their big OLED TV in their lounge room that's like 80 inches, people are going to be watching on TV, and so you need to be mindful of how you present things. Make sure it's clear, the audio is good, make sure the visuals look acceptable for TV. Now, they're talking about one of the things that they're experimenting with on TVs is a feature called Watch With, which enables creators to provide live commentary and real-time reactions to games and events. So in other words, let's say there's an event. Let's say it's a Super Bowl, but we won't say that you can definitely do this with a Super Bowl, but just use it as an example. So you could be watching the Super Bowl. You could be an NFL channel who does NFL commentary. You can watch with your audience. Now, you're not hijacking their feed or anything like that. You're just providing a sort of a special watch with thing that you can do where you can sit and you're watching it real time with everybody else who's watching Super Bowl real time, and you can have a conversation on your version of your live stream, which can show up on TV. I guess I don't know how that works, but it says here that creators can provide live commentary and real-time reactions to games and events. We began testing this feature last year with the NFL. So they are testing it with the NFL, and we'll experiment with other sports and types of content this year. So they're doing it as a partnership with certain sports groups like NFL, or maybe it's Major League Baseball. Maybe they're going to do it with the ICB, the International Cricket people. And they'll also talk about people making content that is TV related. So people starting to use QR codes because there's no clickable links. People being able to subscribe easily and be able to navigate easily. Even multi-view, having more than one thing on your screen at once. So these are the things they're considering and looking forward to bringing more innovation to how people watch YouTube on TV. All right, I'm going to go to the last one and then we'll go back to the chat. AI will make it easier. This is number 4. It will make it easier to create, enhance YouTube experience for everyone. So this is the one that's very much more so probably creator focused than any of the others. And this also leads into something that they've announced this week. So basically, they're talking about the tools that they've introduced are things like Dream Screen and Dream Track, where you can generate images or short video with Veo. Dream Track, which I think is the one where you can create short spurts of music based on AI. Yeah, instrumental soundtracks. Yeah, that's it. So Veo 2 is now being rolled out in some places. So in certain countries, Dream Screen is now using Veo 2, and that is available in the country. I think the testing countries was US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. I want to say that's the 4 countries because I know it's 4 countries. So they've just updated the version of Veo that they're using for that. So that means it should be better than when they first launched it. And so there was an announcement on that this week, which we'll get to in a minute. Also, they're talking about people using AI to do things, use tools that YouTube are providing, tools that third parties are providing for ideation, coming up with new video idea, titles, thumbnail concepts. People are also using this for auto dubbing, which comes to the quote here. It says, for videos dubbed with audio, more than 40% of the total watch time comes from viewers choosing to listen in their dubbed language. And it was announced this week that by the end of February this month, anybody who's in the YouTube partner program will have access to auto dubbing. So if you haven't had it thus far, because I think it's only in certain places or a certain subset of creators, I can't remember what the rule was, but they are rolling it out. Anybody who is in the YouTube partner program will have it hopefully by the end of February, so in a few weeks. Let's say that. So that's one of the announcements for this week. There's another one to do with Dream Screen, which we'll touch on in a second. So they're talking about innovating, using AI in a positive way, and not, and trying to facilitate not using AI that is being used maliciously or being deceptive. So we want to use AI in an ethical way. I'm putting words in their mouth when I'm saying that. I don't know if they use the word ethical. But they're doing all these things in regards to AI. We know that the door on AI is open, and it ain't going to be closed at this point. The one thing to notice is that YouTube have been using AI in the sense of machine learning, not large language models, but machine learning has been running the recommendation system for a long time, a very much long time. And that is a form of AI. That is a form of artificial intelligence. It's learning by repetition and trying to understand all the inputs and making assumptions and making decisions based on the things that are happening around them and how people are responding. So it's basically trying to learn human behavior, what people are interested in, what people want to watch over time. And that's applied at the viewer level, mind you. They're understanding the viewers at the viewer level. What content do they like to watch? What content don't they like to watch? Are there people who have similar interests that we can, they like watching this content and they seem to like this similar content. Let me recommend this video that this person enjoyed to them because they haven't watched it yet. Things like that. That's called what they've previously called machine learning. That's not the large language models that we see with ChatGPT and things. So we're seeing a broader use of different types of AI. And I think the ones that we're seeing exploding are the large language models, the ones that are helping us do image creation, the ones that are helping us to ideate, the ones that are helping us to understand information. So they're the four things. You know what? We've been on these screens for a long time, so I'm going to roll back to this. All right. Time to jump in and figure out where I am in the chat. I think there's a question here I paused over so I could check it. And let's put everything back up. Here we go. Let's put everything back up now. Doug, have you seen the YouTube Shorts question tab show up on long form YouTube content, in particular live streams? Seen it pop up in different live streams 3 days ago. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of vertical live streams, so I haven't seen it pop up. The question tab. Are you talking about the sticker that comes up in the vertical live streams? Or are you talking about something else? I know about them, but I haven't seen anything in the wild, because if it's vertical, then I don't watch a lot of vertical live streams unless I'm purposely researching, and I haven't been in there for a while. So yeah, let me know what you mean. If you mean like streams like this one, regular horizontal streams, or specifically vertical streams. How long before 8K is a thing on YouTube? That's a good question. I have no idea. We know they're definitely go up to 4. You can certainly film in 8K and then edit and output at 4K, and that's going to make it hopefully be real crispy. And if you have to push in, you're not losing any resolution whatsoever. I need to get caught up to see Livestream Consultant's answer on that, so I'm going to keep scrolling. SMA Sky's here. I don't know if I've said hello already, but hello, welcome. I'm reframing my 24/7 live show NASA data stream as a great source to have on TV. Yeah, ChatGPT made a mock-up thumbnail for it, and I'm adding upcoming launch text. Yeah. Love it. Shall I scrap her later? You're probably already gone. Catch you later. Yeah, I'd have to see the implementation on what watch with would be. But it's basically a form of watch party. I know Twitch and Discord have experimented or have forms of watch parties. Oh, highlighted the wrong one. Alice is in the house. Welcome. Hi, Doug. Been hesitant to add my Buy Me a Coffee link to my video descriptions because I wasn't sure if YouTube allows it. 100% allows it. I've been using it for a while. I have Buy Me a Coffee. It's in every one of my video descriptions and my live stream. And now I've got the gold QR code as well. So yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. See, I have yours. Does it affect videos in any way? No, not at all. You're allowed to link out. Once you have, one thing I realized this week, because I created a new channel this week for a project, and one thing I noticed, because it's a brand new channel, I couldn't put links in descriptions, which was a bit of a kibosh because it was a brand new channel. Hasn't been accepted for advanced features yet. So hopefully I can get that happening quickly by uploading some content and making that happen. And then I'll be able to, as soon as I got advanced features, I can post links. You're allowed to post links as long as the things that you're posting links to don't breach any sort of community guidelines. So like if you sent a link off to like a porn site, like I wouldn't expect anybody here would be doing that. But if you did that, then that would be a breach, and that would be like a link violation. But it's what you're linking to. Make sure that it's above board. You are allowed to link people to affiliate links. You're allowed to send people to links to register for coaching, to live donation sites like Stream, if you're using Streamlabs, or Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. If you're doing off-site memberships like Patreon, you can do that. Yeah, it's all good. You're all safe. If anything, when it comes to links, and apart from the content that it links to, is make sure you're not spamming links, like putting like link after link after link after link after link, and then they'll just treat that as like link spam. Make sure there's a valid reason for you to have it on there, and directing people to your Buy Me Coffee is 100% good. 100% good. Beanie says, I don't know why they limit to 1K. Yeah, they have. That's interesting. I'm assuming because auto dumbing uses AI and does cost them money to run, that they maybe want to make sure that the people who have use of it are the people who are actually earning an income, and also because they're earning income, they're also making money for YouTube as well because of the revenue split on the YouTube partner programs. I'm not actually sure if that means the ad level of YouTube partner program or the fan funding level. Remember, at 500 and 3,000 hours, you can fan funding with the super chats and channel memberships and everything before the 1,000 subscriber ad revenue tier. So I don't know which tier gets that. So I might research that and get back to you all. Do you think the community post editor is too basic and buggy? If you're talking about like the classic YouTube posts, like where you're posting as a creator, I haven't had any problems with that, but I do most of mine on desktop. I have probably done a couple. I think the mobile phone could be a place where it could be buggy. I'm just glancing at my phone actually. I do recall maybe vaguely a month or two back, I might have been trying to post a post and it wouldn't post, and that was on mobile. So if you're talking about mobile, then that is probably possible if that's what's happening. But certainly, you can post all the different types of posts on mobile. Some of them were on mobile before they're on desktop. But I happen to do mine most on desktop. So yes, it could be buggy on the mobile app. I do think I'd run into some issue. I think it was posts in the last probably month or so. And it's Greg Hoobers is here. Been an e-member for 9 months. We got to play the thing.
Thank you for your membership milestone message.
Greg's been a member for 9 months. Says good morning from I was going to say cloudy, but no, it's cold, snowy Canada. Stay rugged up. I wouldn't mind a little bit of coolness right now. All I have is a fan, and I'm very sticky tonight because I'm not in a section of the house that has air conditioning. I have a fan. All right. Yes, interactive one. It showed up on a long form horizontal stream. How did they trigger that? Now, mind you, you have to be. I think it's still only. Hang on. No, I'm getting that mixed up with gifts. No, that's available everywhere. That's interesting. I don't know how they triggered that. Interact showed up on a long form horizontal stream, and you happen to be watching on a mobile device, so that you can tap on it, because you wouldn't be able to tap on it on like desktop. Would you be able to tap on it on desktop? So anything on desktop that you can tap on, and like the controls at the bottom and the info card that usually goes up the top here. Yeah. So was it clickable on the screen? Were you on mobile? Were you on like a TV or on desktop? That's interesting. I'm gonna try and catch up on the chat here. Oh, that wasn't for me. Oh, here's a question. Here we go. I saw a queue. I like it when I see a queue. What about the Vimy platform using auto-generated QR codes to sell products or promote affiliate links during your lives on that platform? Have you used that yet? I've never heard of it. Will that breach guidelines? Yeah, I wouldn't know either way. Like if you're doing a live screen, obviously, yeah, you can bring in. It'd probably be like a browser source, so that you can change the QR code or just change up here based on what you're doing, maybe over on this Vimy platform. I think that's an interesting way. That's probably a decent way to implement like a shopping thing, where if they might be watching on TV or a place where they can't like click a link to go to the link, and they have to go look for the link in the chat or in the description. If they're on vertical, nothing's clickable, no links are clickable. So again, a QR code if you're selling something. So that's an interesting thing. I don't think it breaches any guidelines, as far as I'm aware. But I'm gonna have to like check it out, see what it's about, because I'm interested in that sort of thing. I hadn't heard of Vimy, so let me have a chance to look at that sometime when I've got some spare time. All right. Vimy is a shoppable content platform. Cool. Now, do they like integrate with like other places, or do you have to like sell stuff like through them? They do like the transaction, and do they send out stock? Do you send the stock to them, or is it like they take the orders and you get them and send them out? Is it just digital things? Like if say I'm doing my classic shirts, like a spread shop. Like I got my integration, as you can see, with if you're looking on certain places, you can see I've got products that might be popping up on the screen or below the screen from my spread shop, so they can click into that and make a purchase. So YouTube are doing a little bit more sort of laid back. It's not like overtly, although YouTube do have some tools where you can do some basic things where they will shop on certain platforms, where that little link that's on the screen that you can click. To be interested to see how they do that. Interested indeed. Yeah, like I've seen the Q&A. Unless they've updated this, let's test this. Like going back to the Q&A card. What if okay, let me start a Q&A. So if I do a Q&A and say testing Q&A here. Okay, and then start Q&A. Let me know if anything pops up other than traditionally this pops up in the top of the chat. And so then you can click at the top of the chat and ask a question that goes to the question version. And I'll be able to go to the questions form and look at the questions. They won't end up in my in the main chat feed. They'll be in like a separate feed. Okay, people are testing it. Big white pop-up at the top of the chat runs to mobile. Yeah, see if it appears differently on different surfaces. Like traditionally, I've seen this work because this has been on YouTube for a while. It shows up at the top of the chat, but does it show up like over my screen somewhere? Whether it's on maybe we're on mobile, maybe we're on desktop or something like that. All right, let's see. Chantel says, big white pop-up at the top of the chat runs to mobile. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is just to unclutter the thing, I'm going to end the poll. And we'll look at the final results. Because I have to jump over to the live chat. I literally have 4 different tabs now. I have top chat, live chat, fan funding, and questions. Okay, so the final poll results, 29 votes. No, 72% was no. 10% was yes. And 17% came second with no idea. Tell me more. So that was the poll. Now, if I jump back to... I can jump back. I can see all the questions. Now, the questions don't appear... Like, I don't have them appearing in Social Stream Ninja because it's a different window. Like, if I set it up, Social Stream Ninja will read them if I have that set up as my default window. Because I can see SMA Sky says, cool, it works. LOL, Only Smith says, what's up? Chantel says, big white pop-up at the top of the chat, runs to mobile. League of My Friends, Karen Cole, welcome. Says, in top of chat on mobile, Q, how are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm going to go back to the main chat. So I'm gathering nobody's seeing it as like a pop-up card. Let me get rid of my BMAC there on top of that. Actually, they're actually showing up mixed in with everything else on Social Stream Ninja. Social Stream Ninja show me everything. That's interesting. Yeah, I can see those same comments. That's funny. Oh, I've got a problem. My Social Stream Ninja is not showing me the new stuff that's coming up in the regular chat. I think I broke it by using that Q&A form. Let me have a look. Ah, that's because the window that runs it changed to questions. So now I missed. All right, who have I missed? Because that's not going to populate in Social Stream Ninja now. I'm going to just look at the chat and read them off here. Kelly Plains is in the house. Sal, good to see you. From control room chat, you click in where you would add a poll and Q&A option should be there. Yes. It shows up at the top like a pinned comment on mobile. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I see it completely caught off guard. Yeah, not a lot of people use it because it's not really intuitive for the streamer. There's only one place where you can go to see those questions, and it's in the YouTube backend. If you happen to be on the phone, you can switch between modes, like fan funding, questions, live, top chat. That happens. Yeah, I broke the internet. So there's a couple of ones in there until I flicked it back to live in the Social Stream Ninja window. Because when I activated the questions, it took that as being the one I should be tracking. Boss at Live's here. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Now, what is the time? We need to keep an eye on the time. Before we continue, let's talk about these things I've got on the side here coming up. But we're gonna do a full screen style, like we always do. So let's hit it. All right, coming up in like 21 minutes from now, Nick Nimmin is coming at us with Nimmin Live today, 9 a.m. Eastern. Right after Nick, at 12 noon Eastern today, Daryl East got another stream with one of his students. Always talking about how to grow your channel in different aspects. And then 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday, Chantel will be going live doing her YouTube and live stream Q&As, often talking about a very specific topic. I don't know what this week's topic is, but tune in and you'll find out. And of course, I'll be here same time next week on this channel, same bat time, same bat channel. And we'll come back. All right. I think it's time to call it too. I think we're overdue.
It's the last call.
The last call, which means it's your last chance to make a comment or drop a question. So I'm going to dive in and look for those right now. New movie, Doug breaks the internet. Last call. Ooh, haven't seen a lot of gifts tonight. There's a last call gift. Yeah. Meant for community post tab, that editor. Yeah. Yeah. So I have seen issues with that, possibly on mobile, but my desktop's been fine. For that particular one, I believe. Live stream consultant says, can you have two separate Social Stream Ninja chat windows? The dashboard itself, where you select them, I don't believe so. I know I can probably fire it up, but what oh yeah, no, because that's what it did. It swapped to that. Something to play around with. I'm not sure. That's a good question. It's a good question. Heading up to make breakfast before Nick starts. Have a great week, everyone. Jerry, enjoy your breakfast. We'll see you over on Nick's show. Which of these 2025 announcements excites you the most? I don't know, because a lot of them is just it's more sprinkling YouTube as a force, like half to 3/4 of it is YouTube sprinkling itself as a force of pop culture, of community, of drinking water. When it tells me to drink water, I gotta drink water. I would say that's a good question. So the one that excites me most, nothing jumps out at me. The fact that we're getting auto dubbing really soon, I'm interested in finding the nuts and bolts in that out, on how that can be useful, or if there's any pitfalls with that. Because I know that there was a few people in the beta where the AI generated voice for a particular like language, if they were like me, like a male thing, that it might have come out as a female voice. So it didn't sound like them. They're trying to make it sound somewhat like the person. I know there's other tools out there that do it a lot better. So there's that as well. So the auto dubbing, I would say, out of the things, because they didn't touch on a lot of things. There's actually a couple more screens I didn't get to. It was after we talked about that. There was 2 more things. I completely forgot them. One was that they're rolling out some updates on the TV app, and that was basically it. So there's nothing really to learn there, and that they've just upgraded Dream Screen, which I mentioned earlier, to VO 2, so that it's like the newer version. And it's also now on Android and iOS. But I think you have to be one of the beta countries, which is US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, off the top of my head. If you're outside of those countries, you can test that out. So if you're doing a short, you can go down and click the square where you bring in your images down in the bottom left, and the first option will be to create an AI generated image, and that's the feature. So if you have that, then that's good. If you're outside of one of those 4 countries, you may not have that. But I'll put that out there. Home Wrapper Repair with a way off topic question. That last call jingle was in an. Oh, it has that sort of sound to it, doesn't it? I don't know where I got that. Like, I put that together, that jingle. Like, that's my voice. I've just, made it sound like I'm like a chipmunk. Whatever it is. Where did I get that from? It's like a little piece of music, and I got it from somewhere where I have the ability to grab it. I don't know if I got it from. I either got it from Music Radio Creative, or I got it from. No, it wouldn't have been from Creator Mix, because they don't have little jingles like that. I can't remember. I'll have to dive in and figure out where I got it from. But yeah, it does sound similar. It had that sort of musical style from the Roseanne show. Yeah, absolutely. Do you think dubbing will help reach and find new audiences? Very possible. That's what they're saying. That what they've recorded so far, like in their testing, which they've been testing with a greater amount of people. A lot of more channels have it right now. Yeah, make sure to subscribe, by the way. Absolutely. The dubbing will help reach new audience. Yeah, because you're reaching people who could previously couldn't understand you. Like if someone was a Spanish only speaker and you're doing English content, and now all of a sudden there's an audio track that's in Spanish, so they can listen to you, watch your video, and understand completely in their own language. Then you've opened up the whole Spanish market to you. And I think some of the other ones that are in there, I can't remember all the languages. You're gonna have to investigate it. I think Portuguese was in there. There's a few others. But if you're opening up each one of those markets to people in those countries that speak that language, that don't speak English and can't understand you, and all of a sudden they can understand you because you're speaking their language, that instantly means more views in my book. And that's what they seem to be seeing in the testing. So there's advantages to that. Obviously, there's the things that might be concerning is, are they accurately translating my voice? Because they're doing it from the voice. What they do is they take the voice, they get the text from the voice, like they have been for a while, like they do for captions. They take that, and because that's already timed, they take that and put that into some AI that converts that to timed voiceovers, so that it should mostly match up with. Well, it's not going to match up with your lip shape, but at least the movement. When you're saying it in English, they should be saying it in Spanish or whatever it is. So hopefully that does a good job at that. Ooh, the double Doug Hewson hat has arrived. Indeed. Oh, I was looking to check because Spreadshop currently have 22% off, which reminds me. I'll pull that up. Let me get rid of that. Merch offer. 20. If you go to my merch store, which is linked, or if you click on any of my merch in the YouTube merchiness, that's from Spreadshop, there's 22% off right now, and that's available till the 17th. So for a couple more days after this. So today's the 15th. Got 2 more days to avail yourself of discount merch. 22% is like one of the deepest discounts. So if you feel that way inclined, make sure to dive in and grab that. I nearly forgot to mention it. All right, we need to wrap things up. So I'm looking for the last minute. Ollie Smith says French, German, Italian, and Hindi are a few of the others. Yes, absolutely. Do they hear it in their language? No, they hear it in their language. Like there's an audio track. They can switch the audio track from English. It's like watching like the old school DVDs where you go, okay, I'm watching English, but I want to hear how it sounds in Japanese. And so I moved to Japanese. All of a sudden, you're hearing the audio and the dialogue in Japanese, for example. So it's like that. So it's like your YouTube video, you're able to go, oh, I want to listen to that in Spanish. Now, if they know that you're already a Spanish speaker, they may default some videos that have Spanish available into Spanish so that you can just automatically get it in your language. So they know that you're a Spanish speaker because of your settings, that they will instantly give it to you in Spanish. And that if you want it in English, you're going to have to jump back and get it in English. And I think we're near the bottom, but I think my audio is about to play. And Cali Plains has dropped a $10 super sticker. I'll play the music, goes with it as well.
Thank you for the super sticker.
$10 super sticker, Cali Plains. Cali Plains is one of the channels I mentioned earlier when we were talking about channel memberships and whatnot and that. So Cali Plains is one of those aviation channels. Really good. I'm tuning in every week on the streams where I'm actually awake for. Some are, some aren't. So yeah, he does a lot of stuff over LA, San Francisco. Gets around. You're in Vegas last week. I saw that. That's pretty cool. So yeah, one of the many channels I watch that where there's a very good amount of community support when it comes to channel memberships, gifted memberships, super chats, and so it makes it worthwhile standing out filming these planes for hours on end. It's there's a little bit of not only are you getting those positive comments from people who are loving what you're doing, but you're getting a little bit of financial support as well, which is really good when you're making content. We need to get out of here because Nick Nimmon's coming up really soon. Big plane spotting community. Yeah. I could rattle off a bunch of channels that I watch. Oh, good. Yeah. My friend I'm working for, he knows Spanish and uses it in his streams occasionally. It's interesting to see how AutoDub handles that. Yeah, they're not auto-dubbing streams right now. It's just uploaded content like long-form VODs right now. So who knows how long until they can get the real-time dubbing. There will be a delay, but maybe what they'll do is coordinate it to delay your stream so that it goes out at the same time as the dub to whatever other language you want to do. So that's an interesting one. But hey, it's 10 minutes to the hour, so I need to get out of here because Nick Nimmon's going live in only 10 minutes, and I got to get reset for that. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. It's been fun. A little bit to talk about this week and a lot of good questions as well. Let's lose the last call and the BMAC. And I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Make sure that you tune in next week if you can. This is Doug, and I'll catch you later.